afternoon. It is Saturday, November the 22nd. I, of course, am Bruce Leonard, and this is Leonard Leans Left. While it's still legal. It's still legal today. We always do that. We're just checking in on the legality of the situation. It's a fluid thing. There's things happening fast and furious at all times. But it is Saturday, and sometimes on Saturdays, my friend's been sick, but he is healthy again. And so we're lucky enough to have with us history professor, host of History on Fire podcast, and a man I'm lucky enough to call my friend, Mr. Daniele Bolelli. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, good. Thanks for joining us today. I'm glad that you're better.
Yeah, me too. That sucked.
I was thinking about you the other day. I was watching this show with my girlfriend about the Philadelphia mob.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's usually, yeah. Anytime people look at the Philadelphia mob, they always think, Bolelli, of course.
No, it wasn't that. It was the Philadelphia mob, right? Was run by a psychopath, like a crazy dude. He was fucking nuts, and
Okay,
he's just killing people all over the place, right? And there was violence all over the streets.
He's getting better by the minute.
Yes, exactly. He gets it gets funny. He gets arrested, right? Put in prison.
Yeah.
Of course, the young bucks in the mob, Philly mob, they want to come up, right? They're going to take over. But the 5 families in New York decided that they didn't want that. They wanted to send this older Sicilian guy who was from Sicily to like put some order into the situation. It was out of control, right? So they send this guy from Sicily, and like they always do, they bugged the lawyer's office. What? Because they figured out that's where he's doing all of his business, at the lawyer's office. So they bugged the lawyer's office and they get him on tape. And it was the most funniest shit because this guy was like, and then we're going to stand outside of the restaurant, and then we're going to wait, and they're going to come out, and we're going to blast them. And I'm like, this guy sounds like Chico fucking Marx.
That's hilarious.
It's like, dude, saying people talk like that, it sounded like a stereotype of a cartoon character of an Italian accent. But it was this guy's real accent. It was like, dude, I would have got bumped off from laughing at the boss.
Yeah, that would do it. That would do it. I think.
What was the plan again, boss? It's like, are we gonna wait outside? What are you laughing like?
Yeah, that's where they send you to sleep with the fish, as they say.
I just thought it was funny. It was like, man, I took out my girlfriend. I said, man, this guy is the most stereotypical cartoon Italian accent I've ever heard.
I know, man. Stereotypes originate from somewhere, right?
He literally sounded like Chico Marx.
Yeah.
He's like, are we gonna?
No, man. It's
we're
really
gonna
fun.
kill him.
When people fit stereotypes to a T, and you're like, come on, nobody's really like that. And then you run into people who are like that. You're like, oh, I see where it originated.
No, that's what I mean. It was like, there's no way a guy really talks like this. It's like, he did. It was fucking.
That's pretty funny.
It was so. But I was like, I know an Italian guy. He don't talk like that.
It's funny too. Italy is so localized that depending on where you go, man, I remember I was in Siena in Tuscany, and I remember I made the mistake with the lady at the gelato shop to mention a Tuscan accent, which is the region where Siena is, and she looked at me like a heretic. She's like, Tuscan accent? What Tuscan accent? Our accent and the guys from Florence, totally different thing. And I was like, you really sound the same to me, but whatever. I'm not gonna say that, or she's gonna do bad things to my gelato. No, people are fun. It's like, forget any Italian unity. People are flipping out on the town 50 miles away from them. So it's, I mean, and there's some truth, when you hear people from a certain part of the country speak, it sounds radically different from another part of the country. I mean, you get that in US too a little bit, you got somebody with a Texan accent is going to be very different from New York, but at least US is huge, so it kind of makes more sense.
Right. That's
In
what I
Italy is
said.
like,
Like Italy's not that big.
no, and yet there's just as much variety, if not more, when it comes to accents,
It's
customs,
like you go
food,
over to one hill, they're like talking
pretty
different.
much, pretty much. I think I don't remember if I ever told you one time that I thought it was the funniest thing ever. There's this notorious rivalry between these two towns, Livorno and Pisa,
Mhm.
and they hate each other, right? And if you ask them why, they're going to start with, well, back in the 1300s, those assholes did this and that. And, there's like this long standing rivalry
Right.
to the point where, like, there's even a saying in Livorno that said, it's better to have a dead person in your household than to have a guy from Pisa knocking at the door. It, they really hate each other,
We
right?
really hate those guys.
Yeah. But the funny thing is that I was at the train station one day and I look up and I saw that it said that the distance between Livorno and Pisa, I'm gonna butcher it now, I don't remember exactly, but it was so ridiculously small, was something like 15 miles or something like that. And I was like, you can throw a rock from one place to another. You guys are not even separate. Like you're the same. It's like arguing between neighborhoods, not even different. And it was so funny. I was like, man, these guys.
It goes back to the tribal thing.
Yeah, yeah, very much. It's very
It's like
localized.
it's just like here. It's like that. People are like wherever
Yeah,
state they're from. They're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh, I'm
yeah.
from Texas. Texas is the best, and then in between that, we're like, well, I'm from Houston,
Exactly.
and
It's
they'd be
like,
like,
fuck
well,
those
I'm from
guys from.
Dallas. Well, fuck you.
Yeah, 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 totally.
Like,
It's funny, yeah,
and
because I mean,
even
group identity is funny that way because you can stretch it really big, or you can bring it down to the most minimal, where you're just talking about yourself as an individual. But everything in between is kind of made up. Is like, of course, there are some things that you share with people from a certain place or group or church or ideology or whatever the hell, but there's also a lot that you don't share. So in order to maintain this identity, you kind of have to sort of lie by downplaying all the differences and emphasizing how you're supposedly one and the same, when in reality there's a lot of variation everywhere.
it's like that commercial I was telling people somebody like it's you ever see it? It's like for 23andMe or whatever or
Uh,
Ancestry.com, one of those things, and the guy's like got leader hosed on. He's like, I'm a German and I've always been a German, very proud to be a German, and then he's like, and then I did 23andMe and I found out I'm really Scottish.
yeah,
And then
of
he's like,
course,
so
of
I
course.
changed my later hosing for a kilt, and you're like, dude, you're fucking stupid. Like,
I mean, you know
the
how they
reality
fuck
of the
up.
situation is you're none of those
Yeah,
things.
of course.
You're just
I've
looking for.
always pictured the image of, like, imagine if somebody in a hospital in Jerusalem fucks up and the nurse is a little overtired from working too many night shifts, and they put the wrong baby in the wrong family, and you have, like, which happens in hospital occasionally, but, like, so they put, like, the Palestinian kid in an Israeli family, or the Jewish kid in a Palestinian family, and that kid will grow up believing that they are one thing, will grow up believing that, we proud Jews or we proud Palestinians and those other guys are a bunch of assholes and all of that. And they will grow up believing it 100%, until, as you said, 23andMe showed, oh, sorry, there was a little fuck up in the hospital there one day. You
Right,
actually are
right,
the other thing.
right. It's like the asshole is you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know those people you hate? Yes, you're one of them.
yeah.
Like, that's why I always said the whole thing is stupid.
No,
It's
it's
well,
wild.
it goes back to a premise that I say on this show all the time is like the problem with humanity and why it can't evolve is that we're stuck in the past, man, holding on to all these bullshit traditions and beliefs that don't really apply anymore.
Pretty much,
You know,
pretty much. I did recently an episode that I was dreading because normally every History on Fire episode, almost all of the time, they are specific stories. I'll tell you about what happened in this one tale in history at this time. I'll tell you about this character. So stories obviously are easier to follow. They are popular because everybody likes a good story.
mm-hmm.
But this episode I did was more philosophical in nature because it was addressing, why is it that human beings throughout history have done and continue to do absolutely horrible things to each other.
Right.
So, of course, while there are examples here and there, primarily is a more philosophical episode.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was kind of dreading it because that requires the audience to think a lot more.
Right.
And people loved it. I got a ton of good feedback about oh, this is the most important one you've done or something, because I was trying to bring it back to a level of like, okay, I can tell you stories from here to forever, but why do these things happen? What
Right.
is that is behind atrocities and wars and slavery and witch hunts and inquisitions and all this, that, and the other? And of course, each event is different and there are specific things, but there are also some general patterns that hold true, that have an impact. And so I ended up doing an episode that's really about group identity, that's really about how easy then it is to use group identity to dehumanize all the people who are not us, however you define us, whether by religion, by politics, by nation, by ethnic group, by whatever that is. It's like, if you're not part of us who are the good guy, then you must be them who's the bad guys. And
Sure.
then, you don't need to hold the same degree of compassion or care or anything that you would have for one of the good guys,
Well,
because
that's
they
where
are
we are now.
exactly,
I
and
mean, that, or at
that's
least that's what they're trying. They try to
yeah,
do that.
yeah.
Illegal immigrants, whatever that means. And they're the enemy, and
Well, and
then
that's the other thing, yeah,
people
that
are
you
like,
point out.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, that identities, because everybody has multiple identities. Everybody, there's gender, there's social class, there's nationality, there's this. Then there are people who will manipulate identity by focusing on one kind of identity to distract you from another kind. So it's kind of what you said. It's like, let's focus about the evil immigrants who are all Americans here, not about the fact that I'm super rich and you are poor as hell and I'm exploiting the living fuck out of you, because that will make you look for my head on a pike. Focus on the immigrant, because you and I are Americans. That guy is not. It's him that's ruining it all. And so you get to use that
But
to distract people.
did you see they just did that? Like
Which
like
one?
the Congress was in recess for what
Uh-huh.
90 days or
Yeah,
some shit,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And they
yeah.
came back, and what did they do? Well, they voted the Epstein file. But what did they do after that? They put the motion on the floor to condemn socialism. Like.
Of course.
And
Of
then
course.
when everybody didn't vote for it, like, look at all these people that didn't vote for, condemning socialism. And you're like, well, what kind of problems does this solve? It doesn't solve any fucking problems. It's just
No.
performative bullshit political theater, which is only
A,
designed to do what you
A,
said.
it is precisely. And B, I would love to please define socialism
No,
for
that's
me.
what I mean.
What are
They're
we
like,
talking
oh, this socialism is one step from communism, and communism is, and it's all the same
about?
tropes and bullshit that they've
Of
been
course.
using for for the last 150 years or whatever. Like,
Of course. Of course. It's like, wait, do you want me to condemn the fire department? What was it that
right,
you
right,
want to
exactly.
do? It's
So,
like,
what? See, this is what people don't get is that's I did a episode. Well, I didn't do an episode, but I looked into it, and I
mhm.
did a segment on the show here about um, this is the same things that they said when they did the New Deal,
Yeah, yeah, of
when they
course.
invented all the social nets in America. Like, this is communism, and if you do this, we're going to turn into China, or whatever.
Of
And
course.
then, did that happen? No.
No, of course not.
It never
No, and those
happens,
are
whatever they
the
say. It's fucking
yeah,
bullshit.
those are the boogeymen who are always come in handy, right? It's
Yes.
like, I mean, the fact that they are still talking about communism after communism has been a known entity for the past multiple decades means that these guys really need a new boogeyman because because they need something that they can say, what you want healthcare, clearly you're a communist, you
Right.
want, because if you it's kind of hard to argue against, people probably should have affordable healthcare. Is like, but if you can frame it as oh, that's like some communist evil plot, now you can move it away from the actual issue and turn it into some identity bullshit.
Right. Well, there's Islam now too.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Islam, there's this many mosques in the city, and it's an invasion. And
Yeah. I know.
Sharia law is next. Sharia law is like the new
Yeah.
communism. The new thing that they get to, put in your face. And like, oh, this is gonna destroy everything that you.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's been Muslims here since the beginning of time.
I wanted to ask you something before my dogs start bugging me. I'll ask you. I'm curious about this. What did you think of the Mamdani and Trump meeting?
I think that it shows once again just how easily manipulated Donald Trump really is.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go into a meeting and you say all the things that he wants you to say,
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, I love this guy. You're like, oh, I thought he was a Muslim communist, but no, it turns out he's all right, he brought me a gift,
right. That's part of how I look at it, but then I wonder about the other side of it. If it's not too compromising for Mandami to have this almost giving, like, helping normalize, like how, Trump is just another guy with ideas, whatever. It's not like I don't know, like, clearly from hardline Trump guys, it's a bit of a betrayal because you're shaking hand with the evil Muslim communist. But then from the Mandami scene, there's also the aspect of like, you're sitting down with Trump. Why? What's going on?
Well, you know why? Because Trump threatened to cut off all that money and threatened to do here's where the rubber meets the road. It's okay to talk all that shit and you're in a campaign, but once you get elected, you're in office. You need to do something for the people. He can't just say fuck you we don't need your fucking federal money to fund all these programs. The truth is he needs the federal government. And the federal government probably needs New York.
Right. That makes sense.
It's mutually they both need something. But I also wonder about what was said in that meeting because,
of course,
I believe that Mamdani probably was like, look at your poll numbers. Look at how unpopular you are becoming. Look at how bad it is for people out there. This affordability thing is a real thing, and you need to do something about it, or else people are going to turn against you. And then Trump was probably like, "Oh yeah, man, you're right."
Right.
And we'd probably be better off trying to work together. Than fighting each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's funny though. Was definitely interesting.
I don't know that that's what was said, but I'm saying that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, no, in fact, and it's weird because of course we don't know, and there are so many of these things where we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Like I still have no idea what's up with Marjorie Taylor Greene.
She just resigned. You didn't see that?
Yeah, what do you think is going? Because I mean, of course, on one level, is like she makes it look like, oh, I saw the light. I doubt that she did. So it's
I think she's going off to a future of podcasting and television appearances and making lots of money that way.
Doing it that way.
More than I think. And less stressful than dealing with
yeah,
the angry mega people threatening to kill you every time you go against Donald Trump. So, like
yeah.
I'm sure
That's
that
a
gets
plan.
old.
Yeah, yeah,
And he completely turned on her publicly.
yeah.
He called her a traitor.
Of
He took
course.
away his endorsement, and he said he's
Yeah,
going to run a primary candidate against her.
yeah,
Um, so
yeah. That's pretty bad.
there's
That's
definitely some kind of sincerity in what she's saying, but
mhm.
I don't trust her one bit to be like, oh, I've all of a sudden come to my senses that I'm going to be a decent human being. Like,
Yeah. All of these. It's like all of these assholes who like all the a bunch of groups from Arabs to Latinos who supported Trump and then suddenly had the, oh no, this is not what I voted for when Trump turned on them. And it's like, that's exactly what you voted for. You just didn't want it to turn on you. You wanted it to turn on everyone else.
right.
It's not that you're seeing the light, it's that you don't like how he's betraying you. That's a different
Well, I
thing.
also don't think that people really thought that he was going to do all these crazy fucking things that he's done.
Right,
I think that
right.
everybody was like, oh, he's just talking like Trump.
Yeah.
When he gets
Hmm.
in, he'd be relatively normal. And
Yeah.
he's certainly not going to send masked Nazis around to kidnap people. And
Right.
shit like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but then no, like he is.
Yeah. No,
And like,
it's
hey, wait
pretty
a
funny.
minute, I didn't vote for like Theo Vaughn and them who helped get him elected. They're all like, well, I didn't vote for this. Like you said, like, yes, you did. Or if you
Yeah.
didn't, you're so fucking stupid, you probably shouldn't even be voting.
Well, exactly. I think that's the point. You voted exactly for these. You're just too stupid to know that this was exactly that the guy who told you that he was gonna go A, B, and C, and then he does A, B, and C, and you voted for him, and then you're surprised. Yeah, I can see how there are some issues there. Yeah.
You think they were Germans and were like, why do you think Hitler was this crazy?
I know, man. It's
Sure, I
bizarre.
voted for him, but I didn't. Well, holy shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, well, what did you think was going to fucking happen?
But the thing is, in a way, you can thank the stars for the fact that Republicans just can't help but, at the core, having this humongous level of racism. Because if they didn't, they would seriously have a super majority. Because there's a lot and lot of people who are not gonna support them purely because of the level of racism that would be directed against them. But then, in terms of values, they are aligned. They would fit perfectly in the club. So it's like one has to be almost thankful for how damn racist they are.
Well, they're also very incompetent.
Yeah,
That's what I was
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
Was like it could be a lot worse if they weren't so fucking stupid.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
like
yeah,
so many things that they've done have just been dumb. You know?
yeah.
And like they shoot themselves in the foot just as much as other people stop them from. I've been increasingly just noticing that the right. It might be this way in other countries too. I would imagine it is, but
Yeah,
especially in America, the right, the actual right,
yeah,
they don't have any real ideas.
yeah, yeah. Of
They're
course, of
never
course.
talking about anything except for divisive bullshit.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Scapegoat.
like you need to vote for us because they're crazy and this and
Yeah,
that, but they never really have any real proposals how to do anything.
sure. No,
And
scapegoating works. Scapegoating works really well.
right until you get into power, like I said,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then like, do you
yeah.
actually have ideas of what to do? It's like they don't.
Yeah, you don't need good ideas if you can create a good scapegoat, right? It's like you can just wave the fear of the boogeyman and then that will get you a lot of mileage without a single good idea of your own.
Sure, and like I said, till you get into power,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
like,
and of
well, what are you
course,
gonna
yeah,
do? And
of
you're like
course,
nothing.
of
That
course.
gets the same thing happens every time
Yeah,
Republicans get
yeah,
power.
yeah.
They
No,
bitch and
totally.
they create enough like division
Yeah,
and anger to get themselves elected that then they get elected and like nothing happens
absolutely.
or
Absolutely.
regression happens.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
they
yeah.
tank the
Yeah, I
economy.
wish nothing
That's
happened.
They don't have
Yeah,
any, like I said, real plans or ideas of how to do anything.
no, it's true. It's how it is. It's absolutely how it is.
I can't remember
Crazy
the
shit.
last time I heard one of them say, like, here's a problem, and here's how we're going to solve it.
Ah, of course. No, no, no.
They
Which
just go
ultimately,
on TV and go, those guys are crazy communists. And,
and which, when you think about it, that's how government should function. Should be almost like an engineering problem, where you have a bunch of people who understand the field, who are gonna sit down and say, okay, there's this complex problem. Here are some possible solutions. Let's try a few. Let's figure out this balance between these different theories about how we can get the job done, and then let's tweak it accordingly if the results are not as satisfying as we want. There should be no controversy. There should be just a disagreement over strategy, and that strategy, you can compromise, you can kind of modify, you can tweak it if the results don't deliver and all of that. But of course, the factionalism of it all means that you're not going to endorse anything, even if it brings a result, if it comes from the other side. You are going to, there shouldn't be sides, period. There should just be like, okay, how do we solve this thing? What's your idea? What's mine? Let's consider a few. Let's figure out what works. That's it. Should be zero controversy, except, of course, that's not how politics or identity works.
right. And that's, like I said, that's where Marge found herself in a place where, like, hey, I think that the identity that I've chosen is moving away from me.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, of course.
and like, and I actually give her a lot of credit.
Yeah,
It takes, I mean, I'm not saying, oh, I think she's a wonderful person all of a sudden.
sure, sure, of
But it
course.
takes a lot of balls and
Yeah.
personal strength to
But
say, like, well, I was wrong. I shouldn't have joined
yeah,
this team. It's a bad team, and I'm gonna get off of it.
yeah, 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 yeah. No, it's
Did you
interesting.
hear what she said?
No, what did she say recently?
When she taped this thing where she said she was gonna resign.
Right.
When she explained herself why she was resigning, she said, "I don't believe that he's representing the agenda that I thought he was representing,
Yeah, of
and
course.
now he's turned on me publicly."
Yeah,
And she's like, "And I can't stay in the Congress when I know that we're going to lose in the midterm. We're going to lose the majority, and then I'll
right.
have to sit here in the Congress and defend this guy
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that
of
I don't
course.
want to. There's no defense for."
No, of
And
course.
I'm not going to do it. So I'm just leaving.
That's cool. I like that. That's good.
So I said she kind of went scorched earth, like
Yeah, yeah,
she
yeah, of
told the
course.
truth for once in her fucking life.
Interesting. I like that. That's cool. Okay, my good man. I'm gonna grab my dogs and take them for a walk because it's that time of day. I have these puppies who are urging me.
Cool.
But it was fun after not seeing you for a bit, after being sick, to reconnect and have a good chat.
Yes, for sure. And it's good to see you. I'm glad that you're healthy again.
Cool, man. Thanks so
So
much.
take care of yourself, and maybe we'll see you next week.
You bet.
All
Good
right.
seeing you. Have
Thank
a
you,
good
my
one.
friend.
Bye bye.
Daniele Bolelli, everybody. And I'm sorry, it's Ellie Lopez. Here's the Eli. I don't really look at the chat box when I'm talking to Daniele because I don't want to sidetrack our conversation. But can you be a mod? Yeah, sure. I don't have any, so I could use something. If you could help build the show bigger, that would even help more. Anyway, as we were talking about, if you didn't see, if Marge is retiring. Like I said, just tell him, like, you got to give her some credit. You know, it takes a lot of balls to admit that you're wrong. And that's what most of these people in this country can't do now, is admit that they were wrong. That's the thing that I find the most disturbing about American politics at this point in time, is that the lengths that these groveling nutlickers will go to justify every single thing that Donald Trump does without a bit of criticism whatsoever. When you can't criticize your own people and say, hey, I don't agree with what they're doing right here, this is stupid, and instead you fumble around and try to invent ways to make the unjustifiable justifiable somehow. It's no longer politics. You're like I said, you're a factional member of a group, and you're just spewing propaganda. Costello, what's up? It's not. There's no way that you could, like Scott Jennings, for instance, right? Is one of the biggest nut lickers on television. And I was trying to make this point at last episode or the episode before, but I don't think I got through it. I think I got distracted. But the point is, almost all these Trump surrogates that you can find on TV who are bailing water for Trump and licking his balls on television. Most of these people, you could go back and find that place where they said Donald Trump was bad, right? But instead of sticking to their principles, like Joe Walsh and Adam Kinzinger and these other people who left the Republican Party because of Donald Trump, these nut lickers like Scott Jennings, and Vance is another one. He became the vice president. He said Trump is like Hitler and Trump is bad. He said all those things until it come to his own personal position and the advancement of his own career. And then he was like, all right, then I guess I don't have any real principles. It's like, Trump's great. Jennings the same way. Jennings was like, Trump is bad, it's not good, oh, it's bad. And then when he realized that Trump was going to take over the Republican Party, he just put the hat on. And now he's one of the biggest nutlickers you see on television. And the other night, this guy confronted him with that. And he was like, well, the alternative was so much worse. And you're like, so you're just admitting, Scott Jennings, yourself, that the system itself is garbage, right? But that's all they know how to do is talk shit about politics. So that's all he's done his whole life was be a surrogate for Mitch McConnell and a surrogate for George W. Bush. He's a Republican surrogate. No. But MAGA is not Republicanism. It's not your traditional Republicanism. MAGA is Nazi populism. I mean, if you want to get right down to it, like that's what it is. It's Nazi populism. It's not your grandfather's Republican Party, where they, lower taxes and whatever else. I mean, you still have elements of it, like immigrants are bad, they suck up all the welfare, and the racism has always been a little bit a part of it, but the xenophobia, That's what I think is funny. Is like none of these people have any principles, right? A lot of the people who support Trump, right, are one world government conspiracy theorists who believe, the UN is evil and they're trying to create a one world government, all the bullshit tinfoil hat stuff that you hear. But they're the same people who now are cheering on Trump as he goes around to all these countries and makes deals with all these fucking people. You're like, hey, wait a minute, I thought you were not a globalist. Oh, until Trump does it, then it's fine, right? Because that's what I said. It's a cult. It's not your normal, like, these are, the Republican Party's become a political party that you would, like something that you see in a history book. I said, like the Nazis are, the fascist black shirts in Italy, and Daniele knows way more about that than I do. But I'm saying is like where it's not really a political party anymore; it's a cult. Who believe that the strongman leaders should just force their fucking will down your fucking throat with a boot, if they have to. Some random $1,200. What? Are you gonna give me $100? That would be nice. I do have a Substack or a Patreon. You could subscribe if you like. Anyway, there is free subscriptions. I don't ask for people for money here. See, I ain't like Benny Johnson and these fucks who cash Russian checks to spew propaganda on the internet. But I also don't have millions of followers like them either. But I mean, I guess that's how you get the followers, right? By selling out, taking the Russian checks. It gives you all the money you need to set up the infrastructure that you need to create a empire, that reaches millions of people. What's funny now is to watch all these fucks scrambling around trying to pick up the pieces of Charlie Kirk's audience. And you're like, these guys are like soulless vultures. You claim to love this person, but yet you're just shamelessly shilling around, and you throw his name around, trying to attract his former audience, because there's millions of people. They can make a lot of money off of it. I think that's what I was saying. But again, it's going to be hard to get out of this situation that we're in politically, because they've built this machine that makes money off of selling you all this divisive bullshit. Like I said, the right doesn't really have any ideas of how to do anything except for, like I said, terrorize people and deport people and blame all their problems on other people. But when it comes right down to it, they don't really have any ideas of how to make the world a better place for you and for your family. That's just the bottom line. And they don't know, their economic policies are terrible. They like healthcare. They want to get rid of Obamacare, right? But what are they going to do? They don't have a plan to replace it. And they've had 20 fucking years to come up with something. And they don't, because all they do is run around bitching and complaining and trying to gin you up with your emotions about trans people or immigrants or whatever else. But they don't really have any plans beyond getting the power. Okay, so what happens when you get the power? Well, they don't know what to do. Tariffs? Yeah, well, they'd have to take back, because it's destroying the economy. It was actually on a positive. That's when you see this stuff on the internet now, it has reached like North Korea levels of complete bullshit. Right? Trump is like, let's see, I have the numbers. Trump is, his poll numbers are, in the AP poll, he's minus 26. This is from where he started when he got elected. He's minus 26 points. In the Ipsos poll, he's minus 22 points. In the Marist poll, he's minus 17 points. In the Fox poll, minus 17. In the Marquis poll, minus 14. So he's underwater by at least 14 points on every single poll. But yet, he threw socials out. I just got the highest poll numbers in my political career. Well, my great work in the economy has not been yet fully appreciated. It will be. Things are really rocking. Stopping wars and foreign relations seems to be a strong suit. Also, great. The border and stopping crime. I predicted the economy with the already highest stock market ever, which just crashed yesterday. And prices coming sharply down from the Biden disaster, which is another bullshit lie. These prices aren't down. Soon be at the top of the list. Make America great again. And here's the situation, right? Laura was asking me this yesterday, and it's like, the situation is this, that these people have checked themselves out of a objective truth and reality. They now live in a deluded fantasy that they just make up and create every single day. And there's this whole machine of Fox News, Newsmax, OAN, the podcasters like Benny Johnson, Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, Tim Pool, all these fucking guys, right? They all just spew the same shit all the time, every day. They get up every day, there's a fax that goes out to all these people that says, this is what you're going to talk about today. And they're very good at staying on the message, but the message is empty. There is no message. except for you, to hate people and to feel threatened by other people and to feel like people are taking advantage of you somehow. But who's really taking advantage of you is them. And they're all making millions and millions of dollars off of this, right? But you're talking to them and you go, this is gold. And they go, no, it isn't, it's silver. You know, and they'll lie. Their premise itself is false. But you can't argue or debate or talk or reason with people who will tell you that this gold pack is silver and die on a hill defending that. They've lost their minds. They're brainwashed. It's their feelings and how they feel are much more important to them than reality and what's really happening and what's happening. If you just look at the economic of everything, right? Trump's economy is not doing well. Here's the other North Korea shit. Remember when they said, oh, there won't be a jobs report for October because of the government shutdown, right? The very next day, they said, oh, look, we managed to put a jobs report together. We created 165,000 jobs. They only expected 50,000. We did 3 times more than they said. Like, well, where is these numbers coming from? You just said yesterday that you didn't have the data to put out a report. Now all of a sudden you have this report. It's glowing. And people believe it. Like, well, where'd you get these numbers? They made them up. They didn't create 150,000 jobs last month. And they just didn't. If you believe that, there's no hope for you. You're the same people that believed Trump when he said he was going to release the FC files. He's not going to release the FC files. And then when he said he didn't write that birthday note, he's going to sue the Wall Street Journal for $1 billion because they made up this story. And then they pulled out the note that he wrote in that. Now, where's that lawsuit? It's gone, isn't it? You don't hear nothing about that anymore, do you? Right? Then he's telling them people, don't you vote to fucking release the files and all of it. And then he's like, oh, we're going to release the files. They said, oh, there's a file. It's on my desk. And then the next day they said, there is no file. And you still believe them, that they're telling you the truth. You're lost. The truth should not be a left or right issue. The truth is the truth. There's no hide. It's just like in your personal life. You can make up all the excuses you want as for why the truth of what you did or didn't do is good or bad, but the truth of the matter is whatever you did or didn't do is what you did or didn't do. I mean, I guess if you could convince your wife somehow that you fucked this other woman because of some legitimate, needful reason why you needed to do it, maybe you won't get a divorce. But private politics is they like that because people, once they've chosen their side, they're going down with the ship. They believe that only their people are telling them the truth, that everybody else is lying to them. Yo. The problem with the situation in America is there's a right and a left, right? The left makes mistakes and fucks up shit, but they generally try, I believe, to be honest about things. I mean, of course, there's always shitbags. There's politicians. They're lawyers, and you know, most of them are lawyers. And they come from a legal background. A lot of these politicians do, and they're liars. You know, they lie. But lying about, you know, did you or didn't you, were you not a Catholic, or you know, or whatever that they catch people lying about, usually in politics. It's not the same as saying there won't be a jobs report, and then the next day pulling out some bullshit jobs report that you just made up. How long do you think a country can last like that? Who is making up economic data because we don't like the real data is bad. But, you can't run from the truth. See, that's the problem with Donald Trump. Is his money and his powers have allowed him to get away with this for his whole entire life. And that's fine when you're just a playboy, failed business tycoon, who makes bad decisions all the time, blows fucking money everywhere, and, goes bankrupt 7 times or whatever. That's all good. But the guy's running the country now, and in turn, the world. If the leader of the free world cannot be trusted to give you factual data, economic data, and things like this, the world is fucked. You don't understand it? I mean, it's not hard to wrap your head around. Like, it doesn't matter how much Trump wants to lie about it. Eventually, the dollar will collapse, or the stock market will crash. Something he can't stop with lies. And even when that happens, he'll lie. He'll be like, "Oh, this is Joe Biden's fault," because he can't take responsibility for anything either, because he's like a little child. The fact that we've allowed ourselves to get into this position is it's bad. It's not a good position to be in. Now he's going to start wars and shit to distract from his failures. It's about winning all the time. Like, oh, it's the winning, or doing all this winning, and it's like, what are you winning? Tell me something that Trump has done that's winning. Like Israel just bombed Gaza again yesterday. It's like his peace fucking shit ain't working. It's all bullshit. He's like, "Oh, it solved the war." It's like, well, there's still bombs going off. People still dying. You didn't solve nothing. You run a reality TV show where you had an episode where they signed a paper that said they were going to stop this war. But you didn't really stop the war, because it's still going on. It's the same as people that say, "Oh, there was no Russian collusion. He's not a Russian." Well, then why is Trump and his surrogates meeting with Putin secretly, coming up with the fucking Russian peace plan that benefits only Putin and no one else, and you tell the Ukrainians they have to accept this bullshit surrender and giving up territory that they don't even fucking that they didn't even conquer, and they have to accept this, or it's like, but no, he's not Russian. He's not Putin's puppet. Like, no. It's like, yeah, they say, "You can't call us Nazis. We're not Nazis." And then they go, "The swastika will no longer be a hate symbol." And then they got a bunch of flack for it, so they had to backtrack and be like, all right, the swastika is a hate symbol, I guess. Yeah, but it's like, but if you're not Nazis, why are you trying to lift the ban on the swastika? Why are you trying to put the swastika back into action? It's like, because it's a gaslight when they tell you they're not Nazis. They're fucking Nazis, bro. It's like, if you don't want people to say you're Nazis, stop doing Nazi shit. It's the same thing over and over and over and over. People refuse to see, like, the reality of the situation. And they also refuse to, like I said, that's why I give Marge a lot of credit. It takes a lot of balls to come out publicly and say that you were wrong. And she did, basically. I mean, she didn't say I was wrong, but she said, the mega movement is not what I thought it was. And she's right. Yes, Lee, stop. Eight wars! Well, look at it, start another one. As fast as soon as he can. It's unbelievable. The fact that we're still sitting here talking about this, and this guy is still the president, It blows my mind. It does. Because, like I said, it's one thing to vote for someone and go, well, he's a little different, but that's fine. I'm going to vote for him. It's another thing to be like, this guy's fucking nuts, like, and an idiot. And he's destroying the whole entire fabric of the world and the planet the way it's been running for the last fucking 100 years, and no one seems to care. And what the argument you hear a lot of times is, well, what we're doing ain't working. Yeah, what we're doing is not working. What we're doing now is worse. It's objectively worse on all fronts. It's an affront to humanity itself, what they're doing to Latinos and in this country and immigrants, and it's an affront to our allies, the way he treats them. It's an affront to business in this country, the economy, because it's fucking crashing down. Well, Bitcoin's lost $1 trillion in value. You know, it's $1 trillion in value gone out of Bitcoin. I mean, not just Bitcoin, out of cryptocurrency. And Trump is all like, we're not putting our money in crypto. Thank God he didn't invest in Treasury, into crypto. He lost half of it, like South Park, and it's gone. Oh, we got your Social Security fund here, and it's gone. Because you let this fucking moron like that. I don't know if you saw this, but this is pretty funny. You know, everybody knows it. The brainworm Bobby is a little creepy, but apparently he was trying to hit on this guy's fiance. I guess she was having an affair. I don't know if they're having an affair. I don't know what was going on. Or he was just trying to hit on her, even though she was somebody's fiance. I don't know, but he was sending her text messages. And the text is like, your open mouth, awaiting my harvest. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who is now the Secretary of Health and Human Services, had written to my then fiancé, drink from me, love. He continued, I mean to squeeze your cheeks, to force open your mouth. I'll hold your nose as you look up at me, to encourage you to swallow. Don't spill a drop. I am a river. You are my canyon. I mean to flow through you. I mean to subdue and tame you, my love. These people are fucking gross. And sick. What is that? I'm going to hold your nose. And it's like, fucking... This is the same guy that cut off the head of a dead whale with a chainsaw. Who picks up roadkill and puts it in his freezer. Like, these people are not... It's just gross, bro. I'm sorry. It's like, especially, could you imagine him saying that? The way he talks. I mean to squeeze your cheeks, to force your mouth. It's like, dude, this is not sexy. I still blows my mind that Cheryl from Curb Your Enthusiasm is married to this fucking guy. It tells you, just like I said, people's obsession with power and money would cause them to do, almost anything. That's what I mean. You know, you want in the government? People that don't want to be in the government. People who are like, when you hear someone say, I'm only running for Congress because everything's so fucking terrible, and I feel like if I don't try to do something, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. And you go, I'm going to vote for this person. Because that's exactly how I feel. That's why I'm sitting in this chair 3 times a week. If I don't feel like I'm doing something, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. I'm going to go volunteer to help Massey against the primary challenger that Trump's trying to put up against him, because Trump wants to get rid of Thomas Massey. And again, I will reiterate, I don't agree with Thomas Massey on almost anything substantively, policy. I mean, he does say some things about like how the government needs to stop spending, so much money, but then he doesn't really do anything to stop him. He symbolically votes no on a lot of things, and either way, he sticks to his principles, and he's not afraid to fight against Trump and the rich people, and I'm down for that. And so I'm not gonna. And I said Trump hates him. That's enough for me. I said, what is it? The old saying I said about a lot of times: the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Like, I don't agree with this guy very much, but he hates Trump, and I fucking hate him too. So I'm on Team Massey. Plus, forcing this thing that everyone's trying to hide into the open is a noble thing. He's decided he's going to fall on the sword to try to bring the light to these pedophiles, and you got to admire that. It's like Marge. Like, I don't think Marge had like a come to Jesus moment, and now she's going to become a good human being. I don't think she's going to join the Democratic Party like Joe Walsh did. She's going to go off and I said podcasts and go on the news and make TV appearances and cash checks. She's famous now, so she can just make money off of that. So why would you stay in politics, get shit on by Trump every day, when and death threats from his crazy followers, when you could just check out and go to a life of podcasting or whatever. Like, she could fire up a podcast today and immediately be doing better than I am. Say. Now, is her show substantive? I don't know. She's going to talk about Jewish space lasers again and all the crazy shit. Like, don't forget the bitch is crazy. Never forget that. She's nuts, or she would never found herself in the situation she was in. But I do think that she started to look around and realize, hey, this isn't what they say it is. It's not. Mega is an oligarchic. That's what's funny, is they pretend it's populism, but it's really just oligarchy and a government for rich people. They don't care about you. They care about themselves. Why do you think there's Argentina, they're going to bail out Argentina? Why? Oh, you didn't know this. I don't know if I told you this, but the $40 billion plan to bail out Argentina got shit canned by the banks. The bank said, no, we're not doing this. He said, all right, we'll loan them $5 billion on a contingency, or something like that. They gave them a little bit of money to keep them afloat, but they said, we're not sending them $40 billion. Because they realize if they send them $40 billion to Argentina, what's going to happen? It's going to go away. And it's gone. Because $40 billion isn't going to make his dumbass economic policies all of a sudden viable. It's not going to happen. You're just burning your money. It's like buying Bitcoin now when it's going down. It's like, why would you buy it now? It's going down. If you're in it, you should get out. I know a friend of mine lives in Vegas. All his money was in Bitcoin. He kept telling me, oh, you need to get into Bitcoin. He made a lot of money off of it. He got a small inheritance from his grandmother, and he took that money and he put it in Bitcoin, and then it like blew up, 5-10 times, because he got into it early. But now it's like, dude, you need to get out before it crashes completely and all the money you have is gone. Sell it off. Take the cash. Walk away. Especially if it's a lot. And it is a lot. It's like, dude, cash it out. Because you can't just hold on to it as it goes down and your money just starts going away. It's because I said, the Trump family in the last week lost $5 billion in net worth. $5 billion in net worth. Because most of their net worth is bullshit. It's propped up. It's a house of cards. It's all on a paper. It's not real money. That's why Trump's trying to do all these real estate deals and golf deals, because the only real assets Trump holds and owns are his properties. Everything else he has, the True Social, the crypto, all that shit, it's all bullshit. It's all on paper. And sooner or later, it's all going to fucking crash and go away. So he's got to scramble like he is now, try to strong arm these. That's why he's building a golf resort in Vietnam. I'm sure he's going to build one in Saudi Arabia. He's going to, he's just trying to get real assets into place before he gets out of power, so that his family has shit, because everything else they have is a fucking joke. It's like Trump Steaks and Trump Water and Trump Airlines and Trump. Remember all those Trump things that are not around anymore? Yeah, that's what his Trump cryptocurrency is going to be. That's what True Social will be. When Trump is gone, Trump is True Social. Don't you get that? When Trump is gone, True Social will die. It's not like Twitter, where it'll just keep going forever. It's a circle jerk, where people just wait for Trump to tweet some shit, and then they go, yeah! But when he's gone, what, Trump Jr. gonna take it over? The Cokey McTrump sitting up all night tweeting shit? It's fucking insane. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go over to Laura's house. She made me dinner. It's nice to have a girlfriend now. I forgot how nice it is just to have dinner and hang out with somebody, I've been doing all this shit like a robot for the last fucking two years. I'm gonna get out of here, but again, if you're new to this show, there've been a lot of new people here again. And I said again, it's Eli Lopez. I don't have any mods. If you'd like to be a mod, send me a message. Like we can talk about it. I don't have any. I need some. And if you like this show, you want to help me grow it, please, by all means, message me. We can talk about it. And if you do watch the show, like I said, tell your friends. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you to Daniele Bolelli for being here, as always. I'll be back on Tuesday. I do this show, if you're new, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Like clockwork. I will be back Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Go out, enjoy your weekend, please. Take your mind off this shit for a minute. We'll be back Tuesday to talk about what's happening. I'm Bruce Leonard. Thank you very much for hanging out. Good night.